listening to Proof Text, a Glossa House podcast by Dr. T. Michael W. Halcomb, Dr. Frederick J. Long, Dr. Mario Melendez, Dr. Jennifer Noonan, and J. M. Smith. Welcome and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Proof Text. I am Michael Halcomb, and in this episode I'm thinking about three things. I'm going to share these three things with you, and the three things that I'm thinking about all have to do with new online resources. Well, actually, two of them are new to me. One's pretty old, but I've recently found some new stuff on this site, and I'll share that with you. The first new to me site that I want to share with you is called the Center for New Testament Restoration, and it's run by Dr. Alan Bunning. It's a pretty incredible website, and if you're watching on the screen, you'll be able to see what this is all about. If you're just listening, that's fine too, but I would encourage you to check it out if you get a chance. It's GreekCNTR.org. Greek CNTR, Center for New Testament Restoration.org. And so one of the best things about this site is you can see variations in manuscripts very easily. And this goes up to like the first 400 years after the first century, essentially, right? So it'll have other things in there too. But if you're looking on the screen, you can see, for example, that we have witnesses, like is textual witnesses from 225 up to 499. And they're laid out very nicely. So it's going to show you. So let's just go to Mark 1:1, for example, because I like working with Mark. We're looking at Mark 1:1, and here you can actually see that we have textual witnesses from 275 to 499. And you'll see what these earliest witnesses, so it doesn't include all the medieval, Middle Age kind of stuff, but what these earliest witnesses have in terms of variations. You can see, for example, in Mark 1:1, that witness 140-277 has Yesu tu Christu, but with Yesu and Christu, it has the overbar on the top. But you can see that with witness 61617, there is no overbar. You have Yesu Christu, no tu in there, but you have Yesu Christu Wiu, Theu, Wiu. And then you have, interestingly, Avram, which is absent from the other ones, Wiu Avram. So you have son of God, son of Abram. It's very interesting, sounds kind of Matthean. So you can see all these different witnesses. And then we have what's called the SR. This is the statistical representation of the New Testament. So what it does is it's computer code, and it's taken all these thousands of differences across these New Testament witnesses, and it's given us a statistical representation or restoration of what this should look like. So, for example, the SR, which should be coming out in print with Glossa House very soon, gives arche 100%. It's represent 100% in the manuscripts. Tu Evangeliu Jesu, so arche tu Evangeliu Jesu Christu, all those words are represented 100%. Right, the Wiu Theu has a 35% rating. So we get this cool statistical representation. And then down below that, we can see what modern text looks like. So the West Scott Hort, the Nestle Aland, the SBL, and so on, how they've reconstructed. It's really nice, like really to see that quickly, what the earliest manuscripts have to say, and then how the modern New Testament, Greek New Testaments, have reconstructed this. And then down at the very bottom, we have an interlinear, even with glosses. So it's very, very cool. But here's something else that's incredible about this. Well, actually, before I show you that, I'll show you that we can also filter this. So we can turn class 2 witnesses off, the critical text off, statistical restoration off in the variant interlinear, and just go with those class 1, the earliest witnesses. The class 2 witnesses, I guess the later witnesses, or maybe not as best represent, we can add the interlinear back in. Or we can add the critical text back in. This is amazing. And then the statistical restoration in Testament. We can add all that back in or turn off, filter whatever we want or don't want. We can do this for any verse in the entire New Testament. Pretty incredible. Here's something else that's amazing about this. If you click on the witness, this is really cool. So I'm going to click on witness 140-277, and you'll see what'll pop up is some description of what that is, which is awesome in and of itself. And then we get a transcription of the leaf. But if we click on this magnifying glass, boom, the actual manuscript itself pops up, and we can zoom in on it, zoom out on it. This is amazing. Really, really amazing. So, you can see right here, Archein tu Evangeliu. So that new there is interesting. I don't know why they didn't mark that in the transcription, but it's there. Archein tu Evangeliu. And we get the Iesu. We don't have an overbar there. We can't see it. Either way, this is really cool to be able to just see the manuscript. We can do this for any verse, any early witness, any verse in the New Testament. Really incredible. So I highly recommend this CNTR, the Center for New Testament Restoration. I found out about this last week, and I've been using it pretty much every day. It's become a go-to site for me immediately. I use it in my sermon prep, my commentary writing. Really incredible. Highly recommend it to you. GreekCNTR.org. All right, the next one that I'm going to share with you is called Marble. And it's a semantic dictionary. In fact, the URL is semanticdictionary.org. This is created by the United Bible Society. And what we can do here is we can look at the Hebrew Old Testament using the Westminster Leningrad Codex, or the Greek New Testament using the UBS 4th edition. But there's a semantic dictionary of Biblical Hebrew and a semantic dictionary of New Testament Greek that goes along with each. So I'm going to click the Greek one, and you'll see I can pick any book, any verse. We'll just go back to Mark 1:1. And what this is going to do, it's going to show me the UBS, Archei tu Evangeliu Jesu Christu, Theu is in brackets, and it gives me a translation over here. As I hover over a Greek word, it'll turn colors and essentially match the same color with the matching English word. Now, this is where the semantic dictionary comes in. If I want to click in like Archei, what it's going to do is going to give me the analysis. And it's going to tell me that it's a noun, nominative, feminine, singular. And then it's going to give me details about this, like a simple gloss, and then how it's functioning semantically, like the initiation of an action, the process or state of being, beginning. It says it would also be possible to treat arche in Mark 1:1 as indicating sequence. And it has the domains, I think, I can't think of his name where the domains is from, but you guys out there know what work I'm thinking of. It's an earlier Greek work. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank. Anyways, so it says as indicating a sequence so that the contents of verse 1 could be regarded as a type of title for the following section. It seems far better, however, to regard arche in Mark 1:1 as being closely related to what immediately follows in verse 2, so that one may translate the good news about Jesus Christ, the Son of God, began as the prophet Isaiah had written. So that's interesting. It's doing some sort of interpretive stuff there. We can click Show Passages, and it's going to give us a list of references over here, or Show in Dictionary. There it is, Low-Nida. That's what I was thinking of earlier, Domain 61 in Low-Nida. And so it'll give you a bunch of different options. This is really cool to see this with these Low-Nida connections. So you can see as far as arche being related to aspect or time or relations, control or rule, supernatural beings and powers, nature, class, example, features of objects. This is awesome. And so there's on this Marble site, you can click and you can see the domains themselves. Right? You can see different images. The Bible Places stuff. You can see different videos on here if you want. There are some articles that you could search for, but it's really cool to see this. And this is semanticdictionary.org. It's becoming another go-to site for me. So I would highly recommend it to you as well. The third site, this isn't new to me, but what I have found on here recently is kind of new to me. This is just the Internet Archive, so archive.org, and we've all heard of this. But New Testament scholar John Drain, I've just recently discovered that pretty much all his publications are on here for free. And so right now on the screen we're looking at his introducing the New Testament book, and we can view that for free. Now, if you don't have an archive.org account, you'll need to create one and log in to borrow these books. But what you can do once you go here is just click on the author's name. That's one way to do this. And watch this. Boom, all of his books that are on here are going to pop up that are free. Really incredible. So he's got the Christians Through the Ages, Old Testament Faith, The World of the Bible, Understanding the Gospels, Paul, Libertine or Legalist, Wind and Fire, Evangelism for a New Age, and so Paul introducing the Old Testament, Jesus and the Four Gospels, introducing the New Testament, Early Christian, an Introduction to the Bible, Jesus and the Four Gospels again, a different version, Kingdoms and Empires, even the Happy Families and Family Fortunes, and introducing the New Testament in various versions, the McDonaldization of the church, the Old Testament story, the Lion Encyclopedia of the Bible. I mean, this is incredible, these 41 books here. You can access them all for free. And if we go back, these are related under topics. So like Bible, New Testament introductions, New Testament criticism, New Testament critical studies, Christian scriptures. So if you click these, it opens up another world of free sources beyond John Drain. So here you have a Donald Guthrie, his introduction, New Testament introduction. Yeah, all kinds of cool stuff going on here, and we could do all kinds of searches on here. So let's go back and do just New Testament criticism, interpretation, etc. You'll see, man, the New Testament among the Greeks, the making of the New Testament, making a meaning of the New Testament, exploring the New Testament, New Testament history, literature, and religion by Gerd Tyson. Man, so much stuff here. Reading and Praying the New Testament by Peter Kreeft. The Scripture Still Holy, Coming of Age with the New Testament by A.E. Harvey, Anthony Ernest Harvey. There is so much here for free. Joseph Fitzmyers, To Advance the Gospel. And so I would just highly commend this to you as well. Luke Timothy Johnson's The Living Gospel. And we could click here, Luke Timothy Johnson, and then go click his name and see what else he's got on here. 34 of his books for free. His Sackpage, Acts of the Apostles, his great course on Jesus and the Gospels. I mean, so much stuff. The writings of the New Testament, Among the Gentiles, The Real Jesus, the Creed. Wow, so much stuff here. And so go check this out. There's a world of free stuff here, and we would all be foolish to not utilize it. So those are three things that I'm thinking about: the Center for New Testament Restoration, the UBS Marble site, or the Semantic Dictionary site, and then the Internet Archive site with all this New Testament stuff. Go check all that out. So those are the three things that I'm thinking about, and I hope that helps.
Interested in growing your ancient language skills but not sure where to start? Glossa House can help. From illustrated readers and short stories to lexicons and grammars, Glossa House offers a variety of resources for beginning, intermediate, and experienced ancient language learners. Head to glossahouse.com today. Glossa House, language resources for the global community.